In today's lesson, you're going to meet Candy and Finley. And Finley's going to learn how to walk on leash without barking. Finley's a Labradoodle and is reactive on leash, and Candy is here to get some help today. So I'm going to introduce them as we get them out of the car. Let's go ahead, Candy, and get them out of the car. So we're going to go ahead and head right back over here. So this is fantastic. How are you today?
Good.
It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So we'll go and stay right here. So tell me in your own words why you're here with Finley today.
She's a pretty good dog, but she barks uncontrollably when other dogs are around, and I can't seem to get her to stop that. So I really want to.
Okay.
She doesn't walk well on a leash either.
All right. Well, we're going to absolutely look at that today. We'll look at the tools you're using and the instruction, and by the end of the lesson, we're going to have her walking past dogs.
All right.
It's quite a miraculous thing to see, but we're going to see it today. Actually, a couple things that I want to do. I'm actually going to step away from you for 1 second. I want to get a different leash, one of my leashes, and then I'm also going to give instruction to have another dog brought out. Emma, if you would like to come out, please. Go ahead. And she's just going to be walking right on by. We're just going to let them see. So, I've seen dogs that were way stronger dynamic, and I've seen dogs that were less, but it still doesn't make for a pleasant walk.
No.
Right? So one of the things that we're going to do is we are going to change the equipment. So I see that you brought a pinch collar, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so a pinch collar used correctly is a very safe, effective tool. Used correctly. If you are ever using a pinch collar, it's very important to never have the dog wear it unsupervised. He never plays with another dog with it on. He's never tied out. This is only for your walk, and it's to help be a tool for him to learn to respect the end of the line. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So do you know how to put that on, or would you like me to do that for you?
Well, why don't you show me again?
All right, absolutely. So when you go to put it on, you need to make sure that the chain part is completely straight. If it's twisted, it will be ineffective. So you're going to make it straight like that. These are very smooth. It's not going to hurt him. And what's great about these is it will not crush up on the trachea. So he's wearing a flat collar right now, and as he's wearing that, won't take him off leash yet. And when he's wearing that, he's pulling hard. I could see him pulling you out. You're crushing up on the trachea, which causes tracheal damage. This used correctly will not cause any damage to the structure of his neck because it's going to apply even pressure. He's going to feel it, he's going to respect it, and he'll choose not to pull into the line. Whereas pulling into that doesn't bother him, and it doesn't bother him that he's pulling you over and making the walk uncomfortable, right? We want to be safe. You know, we don't want to be falling down and breaking anything, and you're fine, buddy. Now, the pinch collar always goes up high on the highest point of the neck, okay? Because that is the weakest part of the neck and most effective. So I'm going to actually put my 6-foot leash on him because I just prefer that. Those round ropes kind of hurt my hands a little bit. And as a training line, I wouldn't have the handle on the end. And so anyway, so we're just going to go ahead and take this off. It's whatever you prefer, so I just prefer this. In the beginning, in using the pinch collar, I'm going to be a human bungee with it. I do not want to have him hit the end of the line in an abrupt way and be surprised by a sensation that he's never felt. So in all of dog training, no matter what we're doing, the most important thing is that we are fair to the dog. And it doesn't matter what dynamic we're dealing with because it's never their fault. Because if he was in a pack of dogs, there would be 100% communication that is understood by all. But he's a dog that doesn't speak human, and you don't speak dog yet. I'm going to help you with that. But it's like, you know, I've got to teach you how to instruct him in the way he's going to understand. So what we're going to do is through walking and introducing the pinch collar, I'm going to create slight leash pressure, little bit of tension on the end of the leash. So 6 feet away from me, he's going to feel, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. He's going to feel some pressure 6 feet away. And as I'm is that every time he goes out in front, I'm going to give a little leash correction and go the other direction. And as he keeps doing that, he's going to learn. It benefits me to watch where she's going, because the minute, if he wants to go out in front, I'm like, go out in front. But then I'm going to give a little leash correction, I'm going to go the other direction. So within minutes, he's going to start walking here so he can see where I'm going, so he can avoid the correction out there. And then not only that, I'm going to share affection here. Affection here, pressure out there. Pressure's not wrong, but unclear pressure is. Okay? So we want to be very, very clear and make sure that we're fair to him, because this is something new that we're teaching him. This is man-made. It's like if he was in a group of dogs, all of everything, respect, order, leadership, that all is natural because he's with all the species that speak his language. I got to teach you how to speak his language so you'll have the end result you want. Because he'll never be the dog you want him to be until you're the leader that you need him to be. So anyway, I'm going to start walking him. And then we're going to, once I get him in the game, I'm going to have you start walking him, okay? So when I do hold the leash, I hold it like this. So he would, Finley, hey, you're doing this. So when I'm holding the leash, easy. I'm going to hold it like this. I don't let the line slide through my fingers, okay? And when I'm walking, my visual of what is correct is the leash will come out of my hand and go straight down to his collar with a slight J so there's no tension, okay? So I'm gonna hold it like this. He would be pointing the right way, following me, and there'd be a slight J in the line. And I just keep the excess line right here. I'm not gonna do all this. That's my ending picture. In the beginning, I'm gonna be giving corrections with him 6 feet in front. And I'll just have you stand there and observe, please. I know you know sit, right? Sit. Affection here, pressure away from me. Notice how his brain, look at that. He's very guidable dog. Very nice. Because he's so close, I can give those little leash corrections straight back. Get him in the pocket. Come on. That was slight protest to the brain. Even though I invited, I kept walking. I did not pull him forward. I kept walking. He felt the pressure. The brain surrendered and followed forward. Which all the dogs were like this. Look. It's his brain and the structure of what I'm creating that is making him stay here, not because I have power. The only thing you have to control a dog is you have to control these 4.5 inches right here. If you have their respect, and you have a balanced dog, and they see you, they respect you, they see you as the leader you need to be, with a feather's touch, they're guidable, and they're like, okay, because they get it. You know, they get it. And so it's not about making power or strong corrections. I mean, sometimes you have to make stronger corrections because you match your level of correction to the level of excitement, or whatever the stimulation or whatever tool you're using. Because, you know, when a dog's chasing a deer, that's way different than if you're just saying here out of the backyard, right? I mean, different drives, different outcomes, all that. Let's say 0 is calm surrender, respect on leash, following. +10 is barking at another dog pulling you, okay? Chances are, in your walks before you came here, he was already at 5, 6, or 7 in the brain. He was already out in front, maybe a 4, you said? Okay, so let's say he was at a 4. But he might have been a 4 at the brain, but when he saw a dog, he still jumped to 10, didn't he? In order for you to be successful, he has to walk at 0. With a pinch collar, you must have a calm handling, straight arm, and if I'm gonna give a correction, it's a quick pop release. It'd be like my bite. Now they might be getting dogs out and I'm gonna correct him, okay? Or I'm gonna walk him and see what we have. When he went to walk behind me, if you'll notice he was behind me, he slowed down. I didn't change the picture and I kept walking. His brain, he felt the tension, and right away his brain moved forward to get away from that tension. Dogs do what benefit them. It benefited him to hurry up and follow, but I wasn't doing this. Never do we do this. You as a handler have to be calm and assertive. Do me a favor. Walk that dog this way. He has to follow. I stopped so his brain could come down a little bit. I maybe turn around and go back the other way. He doesn't want to follow. I'm going to let a little distance. There we go. Come on. He has to follow. It's a lot for his little brain right now. Come on. There you go. Jared is one of our Northwest Battle Buddy trainers and also Man's Best Friend trainers. Just stay right there and just come forward about 2 more feet. We're just going to be here. I'm not going to expect anything, but just chill. Isn't it awesome, Candy?
That's a miracle.
Is it a miracle? See how the tail's slightly tucked? Mm-hmm. And she's looking to you to save her a little bit. It would be really important to never share affection right now, because anytime you share affection, you are magnifying the state of mind, saying this is how I want you to act. And if you pet this, because this is a needy state of mind, she doesn't know she's fine anyway. Girl, get over yourself. She has to adjust to this new expectation. You just said you can't remember the last time you walked her, didn't have this problem, you hardly ever walk her because it's miserable. And when you were talking to me on the phone, you're afraid you didn't want to be pulled down, break a hip, whatever it is, right? Well, so we're changing the rules, which has her slightly unnerved, but she'll adjust. This is adjusting. And when she was standing there with her tail slightly down, it's because we're just seeing the pressure. But I want you to recognize it's temporary. We do not need to save her, go, oh, you're fine. Otherwise, we are magnifying any stress in this moment, any change of rules that can bring some uncertainty. We don't want to praise that behavior. If she's needy and sucking up, and she's looking to you for you to save her, if you share affection, you're saying, yes, you would have died without me. Yes, I'm saving you right now. She needs to, I see, you'll get that. We do not want to share affection with anything that is less than balance. Grip this leash. Lock out your elbow. When you correct, Candy, it's going to be pop release like that. No, that was wrist. Right now, hit my hand. Take your really, can I touch your wrist?
Yeah.
Your arm is a lever. Boom, boom. Beautiful. One more time. That's exactly what it looks like every time. But it's not the elbow. Remember I was talking about muscle memory? Your brain's going to want to steer her, and I don't want that, okay? So go ahead and put that line in your other hand. Put your hand right on top right here. Firm grip. Now you just start walking and don't say anything. Now, because you're on the leash, she may bark at that dog. Candy's on the leash, Candy's rules. I'm on the leash, my rules. She's not a robot. The dog will only listen to whoever they know will make them listen. And dogs don't learn unless they make a mistake. She learned today you can't bark at that dog, and it's the first time that it was ever disagreed with. And now she's like, okay? So if I tell you to correct, it's just give a straight correction, pop fast, okay? Okay. And you're not going to talk to her. You're just going to start walking. Start walking so she'll follow. Straight? Okay, go ahead. Whenever you're ready, you're gonna start a left right in front of that truck. There we go. Yeah, that way we're not going all the way down there. I wanna make sure that everybody can see. How's that feel? You don't even feel her on the leash, do you? Yeah, it's because she's following you instead of you know, manhandling her power. So then your family will be all happy and they won't be worried about her hurting you. Yep, just go ahead and keep walking. And I know you didn't want aggression before, but you didn't know how to disagree with it, right? How do you feel about what I'm teaching you right now?
Very good.
Yeah? Yeah,
Very positive.
good. Does it make you feel more empowered?
It does. And, you know, we enjoy her so much, but that one behavior, it's like, if we could just fix that, we'd have a perfect dog.
Absolutely,
You know?
absolutely. So now that we've done this, you could see how her previous conditioning, seeing another dog is a trigger of explosion, right? Yep, perfect. So look at this. Isn't that awesome? I know, right? I never get tired of it. I never get dull to the achievements and the successes and seeing the balance and the relaxation. Look how relaxed she is. So for today's rough recap, some of the main takeaways that I want you to have from this lesson is, number one thing that I didn't find out until after the lesson is that Finley was 7 years old, or is 7 years old. So number one, an old dog can learn new tricks, right? But for the first time in Finley's life, he's walking with structure. And at whatever point he started to bark at other dogs, he's not barking at other dogs now at 7 years old. So that in itself is so awesome for this family and, more importantly, the dog. Number two, it is really important that when you are walking your dog, that you be calm and assertive, and that when you have, especially if you have a pinch collar on leash, that your arm is always calm and you're always giving a correction or direction in the direction you want the dog to go. So that old muscle memory cannot look like this when you are wearing a pinch collar or a prong collar. Always remember that every dog is going to respond differently. And so depending on your dog, depending on the level of aggression, depending on the level of reactivity, you might need to seek the advice of a professional, but it's really, really important to understand that not every dog is like Finley. You can absolutely expect a very similar result in every dog. That is what I live. I've been doing it for 27 years, and we usually can fix the walk in one lesson. However, every dog is different. They must be treated with the respect that individual dog brings. And if you are concerned at all, seek the advice of a professional that is proficient in these techniques to ensure the fairness to your dog and that you have the end result you want. Till the next lesson, we just thank you so much for listening. We hope you gained some value. And again, your dog will never be what you want him to be until you're the leader they need you to be. And we just thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.